today that I don't normally do. I'm going to start with the daily meditation. So what I'd like for you to do is close your eyes during this and just listen as I'm reading it. I want you to sit comfortably and bring your attention to the top of your head and slowly move it down to your throat. And now your heart. And now your belly. And your lower abdomen. Now move to your hips. And your thighs. And all the way down to your feet. As you breathe, notice what kind of energy is present in each part of your body. So just take a moment to notice each part of your body. As if you were shining a spotlight on what is happening inside of you. Notice if you feel any stagnant energy or pain. And then imagine you are channeling the breath into that specific area, bringing relaxation and ease to anything that may need to be released. Through this visualization process, you are opening yourself up and becoming aware of what is happening inside of you. This practice can help you meet aches, pains, stories that you might be creating, imperfections, whatever may be residing in the body and being put out into the world. So visualize this process with an open heart. So just taking a moment now, keeping those eyes closed, focusing in on your breathing. One more deep breath. And lift your eyes open. Inhaling your arms up overhead. And bringing your hands to your heart. Pressing your thumbs into your sternum. Take a nice deep breath here. And let it go. One more breath. And let it go. Keeping your palms tight together. Inhale your arms up overhead. Allowing your left arm to drop to the floor, reaching over. Noticing what's happening in that right side of your body. Take your head, begin to look up toward the ceiling, taking that arm that's in the air, pulling it back a little more, opening that heart. Finding your next inhale, come back to center, and repeat on the opposite side. Reaching over, noticing what's happening in your body, breathing breaths to those areas. Inhaling as you open your heart, looking up to the sky. Finding your next inhale, come back to center. And exhale as you turn and twist. Nice tall spine as you inhale. And as you exhale, just turn your head looking over that shoulder. Find a nice deep breath, and as you do so, bring those arms up overhead to the center and repeat on the other side. Tall spine as you inhale. Exhale, carefully looking over that shoulder. And bring your head back around, your arms back around. Let's inhale our arms up overhead, and then just fold forward. Allowing your lower back to release, your neck to release. Next inhale, come back up. Take your hands behind your hips. Slicing your fingertips back away from you. Inhaling and opening your heart. Baby back bend here as you look up to the ceiling. Allowing that throat to open, that chest, that heart. Those arms, feeling that stretch in your wrists. Slowly come up, bringing those palms to the mat. Let's find hands and knees. If you'd like to pad your knees, you can do so. We're going to find cat-cow here. So making sure you can't see your feet. Your hips are stacked over your knees. Wrists are stacked under your shoulders. Inhale deeply as you drop your belly, looking up to the sky. Exhale as you round, tucking your chin. You repeat this on your own, taking your time, following your breath, linking your body to your breath. Keeping in mind that body scan that we did at the beginning of class, noticing where you have aches, where you have pains, what is your mind doing right now? Can you silence it? And carefully bring yourself back to a neutral position, finding bird dog, bringing your left hand in front of you, right leg back behind you. Nice neutral spine here. Allowing your gaze to look down at your mat. Take a deep breath, letting it out. Take your arm out to a T. And then carefully move that leg in the opposite direction. Feeling that glute. Feeling that oblique fire up. And inhale as you come back to center and neutral. Placing that arm down, placing that leg down, tucking those toes with that leg straight, lift up those hips, and feel that stretch in that calf muscle. When you're ready, drop your knee to the ground, taking that straight leg, crossing it over that bent leg, feeling that side body stretch. If you'd like a little more, you can take your right arm over your left. Final gaze, looking over your shoulder down at that foot that's off of your mat. Slowly untangle your arms, bringing yourself back to hands and knees. We're going to repeat this on the other side with our bird dog. So taking your right arm forward, left leg back. Neutralizing that spine, taking a deep breath. When you're ready, take that arm out to a T and challenge that opposite leg to go the opposite way. Finding your breath. Coming back to neutral, hand to the mat, foot straight back, tucking those toes, lifting those hips, feeling that calf stretch. On your next inhale, take that deep breath, lower down to that knee, crossing that straight leg over. And remember, if you want to just stay here, there's nothing wrong with that. You honor your body and what your body needs. If you'd like a little more, you can take that left arm over, gazing down towards that foot that's off of the mat. Breathing breath to our body, and our mind untying the knots with our breath. When you're ready, bring your hands back, knees back. Take your legs wide so that your knees reach the edges of your mat. Big toes touch. Let's take our hips to our heels for a child's pose. Reaching those fingertips to the top of the mat as far as you can, taking your forehead to the mat, allowing your chest to just relax and melt into the floor. Taking those fingertips, walking them off the right side of your mat. Taking that tailbone, challenging that tailbone to still challenge it to reach toward those heels. Slowly walk your fingertips to the opposite side and off of your mat over there. Same thing with those hips to heels and that chest towards the floor. Bringing your fingertips back to the center. Let's come up. Let's bring our right knee up in between our hands. Taking your hands on each side of that foot. If you do have blocks to hold on, you could do that. And just kind of rock your hips back and forth, just feeling those joints, feeling that stretch, noticing what your body needs. Finding a neutral spot to stop. Take your hands, walk them up your knee. Inhale and exhale. Taking your left arm up, sinking into that lunge. All arm, and then reach it over. Inhale it back up. Take both palms to the mat. Straighten your front leg as much as you can. Allowing your heart and your chest to lean forward, feeling that stretch in your hamstring. Maybe even allowing your head and neck and nose to go toward that knee. And then slowly rise and switch out our legs. Kind of rocking back and forth with that leg. Feeling those joints, those hips start to warm up. Finding a stopping place, walking your hands up your knee. Inhaling that arm up. Sinking deep in, feeling that hip flexor stretch. And then reaching over. Back up. Taking those hands to the floor. Let's take both feet back behind you. Find a high plank position. So we're in a high plank here. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Now slowly lower those knees to the floor. We're going to lower our chest to the floor slowly, taking those arms and allowing them to just brush the sides of your body. Coming down, belly on the floor, tops of your feet and toenails into the mat. Slowly, carefully inhale into cobra. Light on your hands, lower back engaged. Your gaze is down the end of your nose. Challenge yourself not to hold your breath here. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, release down to the mat. Taking your palms into the mat. You can come up with your push-up or come to your knees. You're going to press into a downward facing dog. So tuck those toes, lift those hips, ears go in between your elbows, chest goes toward your thighs. Begin to start pedaling out your feet. Maybe even close your eyes here and notice what your body needs. Maybe you want to take each foot off of the floor and roll out your ankle. You decide. When you're ready, hold that downward facing dog still and just begin to breathe. Remember that your knees can be bent to protect that lower back. Begin to start breathing. Now take those toes and begin to walk them towards your hands. Allowing yourself to hang here in a ragdoll. Take your arms either on your hips or maybe hold onto your arms back behind your back. And just allow your head and neck to be heavy. Belly is laying on those thighs. Begin to find your breath here. Shake your head yes if you like. Feel that neck. Check in with it. Shake your head no. Take your palms, place them on your shins. And when you find your next inhale, take the crown of your head to the front of the room for a flat back. This is a half lift here. As you exhale, take yourself back down to your fold. Finding that breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Arms up overhead, tucking in that pelvis. Shoulders away from those ears. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and fold. Half lift. Fold and rise. Keep in mind that hip hinging that we do so that we protect our back. Take your palms together above your head, inhaling. Challenge yourself to take a baby back bend here. You have a nice mountain pose. Just slowly start to gaze up, even if it's just a few centimeters. Looking up, opening our heart. Come back. Find your inhale and fold. Half lift. High plank. Knees or toes. Low plank. Cobra. Or upward facing dog. You decide. Find downward facing dog. Take 2 deep breaths in downward facing dog. Really challenging. Maybe even taking your heels a little closer to the mat to stretch out those calves. Now direct your eyes up to your hands, noticing your right thumb. We're going to bring our right foot up to our right thumb for a warrior one. Back foot is at 45 degrees. Back leg is nice and straight. Front leg bent. Hips to the front of the room. Looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Inhale your arms up overhead. This is where we'll find our cactus. So sinking into that bent knee, that front leg, opening up your heart as you look up. Inhaling And exhaling. Let's do that one more time. Nice and tall arms, spinning those pinky fingers in toward each other. Nice tight core. Hands, palms together, down to your heart. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Back foot extends up to the front. Inhale your arms up overhead and fold. Half lift and fold. High plank. Knees or toes. Low plank. Cobra or up dog. You decide. And your next exhale, lower down, melting down. Tucking your toes, coming to hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Looking up, taking your attention to that left thumb. Left foot, left thumb, warrior one. Really get that foundation where you want it before you take your arms and send them to the sky. Guys, this form looks awesome. Taking those arms up. Nice proud chest here. Melting those shoulders away from those ears. We don't want to be like this. We want to really open it up. Find your inhale. Exhale, cactus. Inhale up. And exhale, cactus. Notice your toes on that front foot. Are they grinding in or really digging into that mat? If they are, line them up. Inhaling up. Now take those palms, place them together, challenge that baby back in here. Even if you just take your gaze and look up, that's enough. You want to take it a little deeper? By all means. Hands up. You're ready, we're going to take a flow here. Palms to the mat. High plank. You can find your downward facing dog right here or vinyasa flow with me now. Lowering down. Cobra or up dog, you decide. Downward facing dog. Looking up to that right thumb again. Right foot, warrior two. Hips are now to the side of the room, front knee bent. Back leg parallel, foot parallel to the back of the mat. Really push that energy out those fingers, looking over that middle finger. Find your inhale. As you inhale, straighten that leg, look up. And exhale, sink deeper. Up. And sink. This is your last sink here. See if you can go just a little deeper with your warrior two. Looking over that hand. Flip your palm, reverse your warrior. Your inhale, exhale, warrior two. Extended side angle. If you'd like to open your heart with me, you can take your arm back behind you, placing it close to that hip crease, and spinning that shoulder open, looking up at the sky. Find your inhale, rise, warrior two. Take the back arm up and over, palms to the mat, downward facing dog or vinyasa flow. Remember, you can always flow down on your knees, lowering slowly and carefully. Everyone meeting in downward facing dog. Left foot, warrior two. Noticing your legs really opening up that front knee. Knee should follow those toes. Start to get with your breath here. And on your next inhale, straighten that front leg, looking up towards your hands. Exhale, sinking, looking over that middle finger. Inhale, rise. And exhale, sink. One more time. Challenge your sink. See if you can make it a little deeper. Nice work. Hold it here. Flip your palm, reverse that warrior. Warrior two. And noticing that form, extended side angle. Take that angle wherever you did the last time on the other side so that you find a nice, even space. Maybe the arm is way up high or over your ear. Or maybe you challenge both arms out. You are the decider. When you're ready, inhale back up. Warrior two. We're going to take our back arm under and just step forward to the front of our mat. Hands to heart. Close your eyes. Just take a nice deep inhale. And let it go. Inhale your arms up. And let's find chair pose. Coming down, hands to heart. Really sitting back in that imaginary chair, looking down, making sure that your knees are not over your toes. Toes are light. Just begin to breathe here. We're going to find a fold in just a second. Noticing those breaths. Breathing breath to those legs. Find your next inhale and fold. Shake your head yes. Find a half lift. Fold. And rise. Hands to your heart. We're going to step back with our left foot for another warrior two. Taking that foot back. You know where you're going with this warrior two. You've been here before, so really make it count here. Hold it for a second, and then we're going to triangle. One more breath. Straighten that front leg, walk that back foot in just a bit. Reaching forward, plate of glass on each side of you. We're milling those arms. Opening that heart, so notice your shoulders. Top shoulder stacked over that bottom shoulder. Top hip stacked over that bottom hip. Final drishti or gaze up the ceiling. Feeling that inner thigh stretch. Slowly, carefully rise. Talk your front foot to the side. Both toes are facing forward. We're just going to do a wide leg forward fold. Inhaling up, exhaling fold. Half lift here. And fold. Take your palms, place them on your bottom. Maybe even clasp them together behind your back. And then lift those arms up toward the ceiling, allowing your head and neck to just drop, feeling that nice shoulder stretch. I like it that I see some of you with just a micro bend in your knees to protect your back. Slowly and carefully untangle those arms, placing them on the floor. Inhale for a half lift, allowing that blood to come to that head. Maybe even taking your hands to your hip creases and rising nice flat back. Your shoulders up and back. Take that front foot, point it to the front again. Bending that knee, finding warrior two one more time. Take that back arm under, just step forward, hands to your heart. Inhaling up. Exhale, chair the nose. Sorry, Lee, I got you. You saw me. She was ready to fold. We need to get her up on stage. She needs to lead us. All right, we're going to step our right foot back, warrior two. We're going to do the stuff on the same stuff on the other side. I'm not sure what the music is going to do. I'm really getting into it, girls. We got jackets coming off. We're getting hot out there. All right, warrior two. Now we're going to make sure that we straighten that front leg and then walk our foot in just a little bit to close that stance for triangle. Leaning forward, windmilling those arms. It's very challenging, but I think you're up for the challenge. We definitely don't want our chest to be pointing toward the floor. We want to open that chest up and then look up to our hand. Really feeling that inner thigh of that front leg really fire up. If you lost your breath, find it again. And as you breathe in, rise. Tip-top that front foot to the side. Take both feet to 45 degrees. Take your hands to your heart. Let's find goddess pose. Knees follow your toes. Think mountain pose for the top half of you. Nice and tall, open heart. Maybe you even want to open up those arms up to the sky, palms facing the front. If you want a little bit of a challenge, take that left foot and that heel off the ground. Don't have to do this. It's up to you. Maybe drop it, bring your right foot up. And if you want one last final challenge, both heels up. Slowly rise, hands to heart. Take a deep breath and let it go. Step that back foot up to the front, meet it at the top of your mat. Nice work, girls. Let's inhale, arms up overhead. Bring them to your heart again. Let's find tree pose. So whichever foot you want to start with, just think mountain pose, but kind of leaning past the midline to that foundation foot. And then placing your foot lower above that knee joint. Squeezing your leg into your foot into your leg. Finding your focus point. This pose can always be done near the wall, holding onto the wall. You really want to challenge yourself, you can grow your tree. Another fun option for this, doesn't look like any of us have blocks close by, but you could always, for fun, take a block and step on the block. Just kind of a fun challenge. Now I want you to come out of your tree pose as slowly and deliberately as you went into it. So maybe bring your knee up. I'll lose my block, but at least you know that's an option. Right foot grounded, or whatever foot you didn't do. Let's try tree on this side. Balance really helps strengthen our bones, really strengthen our ankles. We're creating mental focus here. When you're ready to come out, slowly and carefully. Nice work. Let's switch legs again. This time we're going to take our knee forward. We're going to open our knee up. And then we're going to shoot it back for warrior three. So you decide if you need the wall or not. It's up to you. You know where we're going. So nice and tall. Think mountain pose with your body. Knee up. Maybe even taking the arm of the opposite side up. And then carefully opening that knee. Flexing that foot to help with that balance. Even tightening your core, pretending like you're putting on a pair of pants and zipping it up. Now slowly, carefully closing that knee, shooting it back. Taking the leg that's in the air and kind of pointing it, like almost like pigeon-toeing that leg to drop that hip. So that both hips are even, almost like I put a serving tray on your bottom. Remember, your leg doesn't have to be real high, but the challenge is to take that foundation leg and really strengthen it, make it strong. Just remember, if you drop out of this pose or you fall out of it, no worries. Just try again. You're ready. Slowly bring your knee up to the front and place it in. Roll out that ankle. Let's switch sides. We'll start with our knee facing forward. Maybe even placing your palm, your hand on that knee. Taking the opposite arm out. Opening it up to the side when you're ready. Bringing it back to the front and shooting it back for warrior three. You're ready, bringing that knee forward. It was a lot quieter that time, so I think that you're all better on that. You usually have one side that's better than the other for your balance. Roll up those ankles. Does anybody have a request for a balance pose? Something that you love? Do eagle. Do one more with the eagle pose. So, taking that foundation foot, taking the other leg, crossing it over, squeezing it together. Maybe your big toe just use it as a kickstand, or maybe you're able to really squeeze your legs together and hook it behind. And then since you have that leg over, take that same arm under. Your arms can just be on your shoulders, or you can find that entanglement, lifting up your elbows and pulling your forearms away. Think the top half of your body is nice and upright. Maybe you're having a day where all you want to do is focus on your feet, your legs. You just want your arms right here, your sides, and there's nothing on them. When you're ready, untangle yourself. Roll out that ankle and we switch sides. This will be our final balance pose. So when you're ready, cross that leg over and cross that same arm under. Your forearms away. Remember to continue to breathe. Slowly untangle. Nice work, ladies. Take yourself to the top of your mat. Roll out your ankles if you need to. Inhale those arms up overhead. Now we're going to fold from here. Nice and deep fold here. Half lift. And fold. Take yourself to a high plank. You won't be here long. Maybe 1 minute. So what I'd like for you to do is you can either be, I'm going to give you lots of options. You can be up here in this high plank. You can be on your knees in this high plank. Or you can take your feet up and then bring your forearms down. So you decide where you want to be. And I'm going to start our minute. We're going to just try to challenge on the 1 minute plank. Let's do it. Here we go. Seconds down, 45 more to go. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure that you are not allowing your chest and your belly to sink lower. Okay? Keep it up there. We're at 30 seconds now. If you want to follow me to a side plank, we can do a side plank, modified, or you can stay right where you are. You decide. If you want a little bit more, you can bring it up to a full plank. 15 more seconds. If you want to switch sides to the opposite side, you can do that. Or you can take it all the way up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, ladies. Take yourself back to a child's pose. Sink those hips to those heels. Allow that chest to sink really nice and deep to the mat. Come back up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Find a downward facing dog here. We're going to create a pigeon pose. So lifting up your right leg for a 3-legged dog. If you want to work your abs on your way there, you can, bringing that knee in to your nose, holding it for just a second. If you're not interested, you go right into pigeon. Allowing the outside of that leg to lay on your mat, pinky toe side. Really sending that straight leg all the way down your mat. When you're ready to just surrender to your mat, releasing that chest forward. The block works really nice here to put your forehead on. And if you don't have a block handy, you can always use your fists. I'm going to talk for just a second and then I'll be quiet. And I think the pigeon pose, because we hold it for a little bit longer, is part of the practice where people's minds start to take over. And the goal of yoga is to drop out of your mind and into your body. It's what I always challenge people to do during the pigeon pose. is to focus on your breath. Focus on actually thinking, just like we did that body scan at the beginning, to breathe the breath to that hip. Any blocks that you might have there, to release those. By inhaling the positive, exhaling the negative. Or if you're struggling with something, inhaling the happiness, exhaling the sadness. If thoughts do come to your mind, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't judge them. Just notice them for what they are, and then let them go. Bringing yourself back to your breath. One more deep breath here. And you press your palms into the mat, taking your time, maybe even lifting that chest up a little bit. Now to get out of this, we're going to tuck that back toe, unless that doesn't feel good to you. You find your own way, lifting up that hip to bring that leg out. Finding that downward facing dog. And in that downward facing dog, just notice how you're feeling. Notice how one side feels compared to the other. And we're going to get into our pigeon from the left leg. So lifting up that left leg nice and high. If you want to work those abs or that core again. Bringing that knee into your nose, holding it for just a second. Don't want to do this, that's okay too. And then laying the outside of that leg, pinky toe side down. Shooting that back leg straight back. Lifting your chest down toward the floor. Using your breath to let it go. Couple more breaths on this hip. One more nice deep breath. Take those palms, lift your chest up, and then just allow that hip to fall to the side. And then taking your legs wide on your mat, so you guys are facing the side. So both of your legs are wide and you're facing the side. Inhaling your arms up, turning towards your left leg, and let's fold down. Now, if you don't like this, you can bend that leg in. You decided you don't have to go far. We're leading with our heart. When you get to where you want to stop, you can't go any further, then you can take your your nose, and just reach it toward your knee. And slowly rise. Take those arms overhead, turning. Same thing to the other side. When I do this, I almost feel like, so right now I'm leaning to my right leg. I feel a nice stretch in the left side of my back. You're ready, slowly rise. Bring both the soles of your feet together. Nice tall spine. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to fold forward. Maybe even taking those elbows and kind of pushing out on those knees. And if you'd like to bend your neck down, looking towards the soles of those feet, you can do so. When you're ready, slowly rise, taking your feet to the end of your mat, and then taking your time to slowly lie down. So you're now on your mat, taking your knees toward the ceiling with your heels towards your bottom. So we're going to find a bridge pose here. So looking at your knees for just a second, you want to make sure they're not really wide. You want them to be close together. And then as you inhale, lifting that pelvis up toward the ceiling. Maybe you want to walk your hands and arms underneath you and clasp your hands together. You don't have to do this. Maybe you want to. And then take your feet, go up on your toes with your heels high. And as we slowly lower down, we're doing it one vertebra at a time, ending with our tailbone. And the final thing to hit would be your heels. Now windshield wiper those knees from side to side, releasing that lower back. And then slowly find the neutral. Bringing your knees into your chest. Allowing your knees to just roll to your right side. Body, head, everything following with it. Maybe you want to straighten that top leg out and hold onto it with your right hand at your ankle or calf. You don't have to do that part. And then slowly take the top half and twist the opposite way for a nice spinal twist. Breathing breath to that spine. And letting it go. One more nice deep breath here. And then take your arm, your head, your chest back over to that side. Bring a nice ball on your right side. We're going to take that whole ball and bring it back to the center. Do the same thing to the other side. Take your entire body, roll it to your left. Maybe you want to straighten that top leg, holding onto the ankle. Allowing that right arm to trace across your chest and open up. Opening up our heart, bringing out our insides. One more deep breath. And let it go. Take Your arm, your chest, your head, your neck, everything back over, finding yourself in a ball. Carefully bringing that ball back to the center, back to neutral. I'm going to allow you some freedom here to find the last pose you would like to do before Shavasana. I'll run through a few. You can do waterfall with your feet up toward the ceiling, maybe even placing your block under your sacrum. You can find happy baby if you like that. Or maybe the soles of your feet together in reclined butterfly. You choose what feels the best and what your body needs now. And your final pose, your final resting pose, spinning those toes out wide, melting your body to your mat, finding a position that feels good to you. This is one of the most important poses of your practice, but yet sometimes can be the hardest. So challenge yourself to stay really still and relaxed. Focus on nothing but resting. Begin to slowly start wiggling your fingers and your toes, waking up your body. Take some deep breaths in. Some people like to roll to their side. Some people like to take their arms overhead toward the back wall. Maybe bring your knees up to your chest. Whatever feels good to you to wake back up. We're about to begin our Sunday morning. But know that we first started with yoga for some self-care and practice just for you. I leave you with a quote I have read to you before. It's called The Goal of Yoga. The yoga pose is not the goal. Becoming flexible or standing on your hands is not the goal. The goal is to create space where you were once stuck, to unveil layers of protection you've built around your heart, to appreciate your body and become aware of the mind and the noise it creates. To make peace with who you are. The goal is to love, well, you. Shift your focus and your heart will grow. Thank you very much for coming today. Hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. The light in me honors the light in each and every one of you.